What if I told you that all you need to build credit from scratch is the right strategy? Whether you're 18 and just starting out, or you've avoided credit cards your whole life only to now realize you might actually need that score, then this video is for you. Today, I'm breaking down exactly how to build credit from scratch, step by step, and the common mistakes to avoid that could hurt your score before it even gets started. So grab your notebook and your snacks because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to start building credit the smart way. But before we get started, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hey, I'm Crystal, former corporate finance girly turned entrepreneur and personal finance educator. My mission is simple: to help underserved and underrepresented communities master financial literacy and build generational wealth. And I'm here to share some strategies on how to do just that. So stick around and become a part of my community if you're ready to get wild about wealth. Let's get into it. Now let's talk about why building credit matters. Because here's the thing: your credit score is more than just a number. Think of it as your financial reputation. It's used as the proof of how you spend your money and pay your bills. Your credit score can affect almost everything from getting approved for an apartment lease to what interest rate you pay on a loan and even landing certain jobs. Crazy, right? This one number, in many cases, can make or break you. Without a credit score or a low credit score, you could basically be invisible to many lenders. And even if you have money in the bank, many systems still look for credit history to judge your reliability. That's why it's so important to start early when building credit from scratch. So, what makes up your credit score? Before you start building your credit, you need to know how the game works. Credit scores are made up of five key factors. The first is payment history. Payment history is the single biggest factor determining your score and represents 35% of the total. That means you must make your payments on time. Even one late payment can drop your score for years. Credit utilization is the next biggest factor. This is how much of your available credit you actually use, and it makes up about 30% of your score. The goal is to keep your utilization rate under 30%, ideally under 10, but the lower the better. Here's an example of how the credit utilization rate is calculated. Let's say you have a credit card with a credit limit of $1,000 and you owe $100 on that card. Then your credit utilization is 10%. Credit scoring systems consider the utilization rate on each account as well as the total rate across all of your accounts. So if you have just one card with a high utilization rate, but all the others are low, that one rate can negatively impact you. Length of credit history is the next key factor, which is about 15% of your overall score, and it addresses the length of time you've had credit. The longer your accounts stay open and in good standing, the better. The idea is that, statistically speaking, the longer you've had credit, the more likely you are to know how to manage it properly. Even closed accounts still remain on your credit report for as long as 10 years. However, it's worth mentioning that closing accounts, such as credit cards or lines of credit that you've had for a long time, can actually have a negative impact on your credit score because it could reduce the average age of your overall accounts. The next factor is credit mix, which makes up about 10% of your overall score. Having a mixture of both revolving accounts like credit cards and installment accounts like loans can have a favorable impact on your credit score. And the final factor is new credit, which makes up about 10% of your overall score. Too many new accounts or hard inquiries in a short time can hurt your score. Statistically speaking, adding new debts increases your odds of falling behind on your old debts. As a result, having too many new accounts or inquiries can lower your score. But this shouldn't necessarily deter you from applying for new credit because your credit score could decrease about 5 points per inquiry. But by consistently paying your bills on time, which strengthens your credit, your score could go back up in a few months. It should also be noted that hard inquiries aren't all treated the same. If you go out and apply for several credit cards at once, it can be a sign that you're desperate to pay for something using credit or you're having a hard time managing your current debt. However, if you have several inquiries because you're shopping around for a better rate for a mortgage loan or an auto loan, those inquiries get lumped together as one inquiry as long as they're within a 2-week time frame. Now that you know the breakdown of the credit score, let's talk about the steps to build credit from scratch. Step 1. Check what, if any, credit you already have. Beyond the point of building credit, regularly checking your credit report should be a consistent habit everyone should get into. You can do that by going to annualcreditreport.com, which gives you a free credit score check. One of the biggest advantages is that by using annualcreditreport.com, you can check all 3 credit bureaus at the same time. Even if you think you have no credit, sometimes you might have something reported like a student loan or utilities in your name. If you find errors, dispute them immediately. You can do this by contacting each credit bureau and report the incorrect information. Step 2. Become an authorized user on the account of someone you trust and who manages their credit well. Be sure that the financial institution actually reports authorized users to the credit bureaus because not all of them do. Even when you trust the person who's adding you, you still need to be careful with this one. Just paying their bills on time each month is not the only thing to consider. In addition to paying their credit card bill on time each month, this person should also maintain a low credit utilization rate and have a longer payment history than you. These are the factors that will benefit you and help you build your credit. If all these boxes aren't checked, then don't have them add you as an authorized user. It'll only hurt you in the long run. Step 3 is to acquire helpful credit. So, having someone add you as an authorized user may not be an option. And if that's the case, a secured credit card is a good starting point. You put down a refundable deposit, usually maybe $200 to $500, and that becomes your credit limit. You can use the card for small purchases like gas and groceries, and then pay the balance in full each month. Doing this helps build both payment history and keeps your credit utilization rate low. And here's a pro tip. After about 6 months of responsible use, ask your card issuer if you can graduate to an unsecured card. An unsecured card doesn't require a deposit or any other collateral to open it. Another form of credit designed to specifically help people establish credit is a credit builder loan. Here's how they work. The lender holds your loan in a savings account while you make small monthly payments. Those payments are reported to the credit bureaus. And once the loan is paid off, the lender releases the money to you. The point of this is to have the lender report regular on time payments to the credit bureau to help establish positive credit. And step 4, have your rent and utilities reported using Experian Boost. Typically, expenses like rent, phone bills, or utilities aren't reported to the credit bureau. With services like Experian Boost, you can have those expenses added to your credit history. I mean, if you're making regular payments on those expenses already, you may as well have them count toward your positive credit history. Using Experian Boost or a service like it is a great way to show payment habits without taking on any new debt. Step 5, maintain good credit habits. As I mentioned before, credit utilization is a huge factor in your overall credit score. Aim to use less than 30% of your credit limits on both individual debts and across all debts. If you have a credit card with $1,000 credit limit, keep your balance under $300 on that card at all times. Ideally, paying your balance in full each month is the best solution. That shows lenders you can manage credit without relying on it. And don't just start applying for any and everything. Remember what I said about those hard inquiries. Each hard inquiry can lower your credit score by several points. So avoid applying for multiple cards or loans all at once unless you're shopping for a rate. The goal here is to build a solid credit foundation before you go all out. It's a process. Okay, let's recap and go over some common mistakes to avoid when you're trying to build your credit. The biggest mistake you can make is missing payments. Even one 30-day late payment can drop your score by 60 to 100 points. Also, closing old accounts too soon. It shortens your credit history. Carrying high balances. Remember that credit utilization rate? And number four, applying for too many cards at once. Multiple inquiries can flag you as a risk. But if you need to shop around for loan rates, just be sure to do them all within a 14-day time period. And remember, you can't buy your way into good credit, you have to build it. And it does take some time and patience. But once you do it right, it opens doors to financial freedom through cheaper loans, better approvals, and much, much more. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more personal finance gems on my channel. In the meantime, here's more content you might find helpful as you navigate your financial journey. As always, thank you for watching, and please remember to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who's ready to get wild about wealth. Take care.